ask, like, what's a particular like song that you have like a memory associated with, like either a memory or like a personal like epiphany associated with?
Okay. Damn. One song. Hmm. Damn. I don't want to sound crazy, but like, what's the yo? Damn. If it's not like all caps, which is very like super easy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yo, whatever's whatever. It ain't no
But
judgment on it.
what's the Nas song where he's a gun, bro?
Are you talking
What
about
is
that shit? Off of It Was Written. It was like the second
that?
song.
What's the name of that song, yo?
Was it Power or something like that?
Boom.
Yeah, yeah.
That right there. I must
Yo,
have been
that used to be my shit. But yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
8, bro, or like 9 or some shit. And I just remember being able to like decipher the fact that he was talking about him being a gun and he's not really a gun. And that shit
Yeah.
fucked. I was like, yo, rap is definitely different. I always reference that album a lot, like in interviews and shit, because that's really the one. Like that was really the one that was like that piqued interest, I guess, like early. You know what I mean? It Was Written is always like lauded as being the follow up that didn't really do what it had to do. But I think that shit was hard as hell. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
joints on there is like very undeniable. Like, of course, it's not fucking Illmatic, but it's a great album. Let alone Power is like a crazy song, crazy beat, crazy concept, executed wild well. Like,
Yeah.
so that joint right there is definitely one of them ones. I'm trying to. Who did that beat, yo?
Yo, I can't remember, but one thing I will say, like to add
I'll,
on to that, I have to say
I'll,
it like this. Like I, truth be told, only like vaguely followed Nas after that album. But it was also kind of this thing of like, yeah, Illmatic was like Illmatic, but like I know people kind of felt funny about It Was Written, but you're right, that shit was dope as fuck actually. You know what I mean? Like I really like loved it. He was still like rocking with like AZ like a lot on that
facts,
one. And
facts.
then I still remember when I think of that album, one of the things that always like pops in my head is the way that hip hop in and of itself has always like introduced me to like different kinds of music. So like not only with that Power, because when he was doing the thing about like talking about the gun, like it was me. I remember, yo, it was like me and my cousin Twan. We was like down in the Mac, and like and we would just sit there and like listen to it, and we would be like, yo, like he's like kind of doing this thing of him being a gun, but he's not like the gun. You know what I mean? Like just the way that it was. But back to like the way that hip hop introduced me to like different shit. The way that the opening track on there, they use like that Sting sample.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that was one of the things that like I always like loved about it because also like it felt like a little bit of a contrast behind like the first album, but it was still like very like chill. And I have to also say that one of the issues that one of the things that actually made me like sort of like chill out on hip hop for a couple of years, like which is why I didn't listen to Nas so much afterwards, was because the sort of like sonic quality, the things that people started to use,
Yeah.
like it just one of the things that made me gravitate towards hip hop was like the dirtiness of it
Yeah.
and the way that it was like when you like sampled something. So once you started getting like cleaner samples, like higher bit rates, and then also people started to like actually like make like longer samples, basically. Um, and then like I think like the Trident became like the thing. Yeah, but like those years it became like it kind of took me off. Yeah, it just didn't do it for me, I guess.
That shit,
Um,
that album definitely preceded like that. I think that era a little. Like man, I
yeah, it
could
was
be talking
about like 3 years, about 3 or 4 years.
on some real like not regional shit because dudes on the West Coast, I guess, like after the NWA shit was on there, like think about the fact he had a Dre beat on there, and that shit was like, Nas is coming. Shit was
Oh
mad
yeah, yeah,
bright.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
You
I
know what I'm
remember that. I forgot about that shit because everybody
saying?
was like hyped about that shit.
motherfucking Nas, nigga. I could be talking out of my ass, but I think that like past that sound being like on the West Coast, once it reached out and like was on the East too, with like P. Diddy and his shiny suit shit and all of that shit going on.
Yeah.
Once you yeah, it was different. I was still a kid, so I was into a lot of that shit. Like,
oh yeah. No. It's okay. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
I love Mace, bro.
So when I used to love Mace.